Over the next couple of weeks, the UKNS will be crowning their first ever national champions. Last year we had UK and Ireland champions and world champions, but this year, rather than do regional qualifiers, the UKNS decided to turn those qualifiers into national titles. In this video, we're going to look a little bit more in depth at the English title. However, every competition will be live streamed, and I'll be telling you how at the end of the video. Over the past 3 years, the UKNS has just grown and grown in popularity. Last year, we had the first ever World Championships, and the uptake for the 2024 national titles was so huge. Many competitions reached their capacity within a week or so. It was awesome to see, and it's just making these competitions just feel so huge. You look at the athlete lineups for each of the classes. I'm just talking England alone. It's going to be a huge day for the men and a huge day for the women. And it, as I say, really makes these national titles feel like it's something worth competing for. Real sense of pride for those that manage to make the podium. While the makeup of the national competitions is largely the same, the English competition particularly has a couple of devious little twists, so let's have a look at the events. The men and women competing for the title of England's strongest will be faced with 6 events, starting with an overhead. It's an axle floor to overhead press, as many reps as possible within a time limit. We've got a deadlift ladder with a twist. Rather than having 5 or 6 bars in a line getting progressively heavier, it's 3 bars, different bars, 2 reps on each, starting with an axle bar, then moving into a power bar, and then an elevated deadlift to finish off. It's horrible. Third, we have the event which was the bane of so many athletes in 2023. It's the sandbag steeplechase. For those that don't know what the steeplechase involves, you have 2 sandbags at the start line, one lighter, one heavier. You pick up the lighter one, carry it 10 meters, load it over a yoke, run back, heavier one, pick it up, 10 meters, load it over the yoke. Then you go around the yoke, pick up the lighter bag, carry it to the finish line, run back, heavier bag, run it to the finish line. This is a disgusting event. Disgusting in a different way is the 4th event. It is a Zercher yoke carry into a sled drag. Both implements will start on the start line. You carry the yoke, run back, pick up the sled, and drag it to the finish line. 5th, we go back to the sandbags. It is a sandbag to shoulder 4 reps. It is just the 1 sandbag this time, as many reps as you're able to do within the time limit. And to finish off the competition, the 6th event is a head-to-head frame hold. So you're going to be eye to eye with your opponent and just pick up the frame, hold on for dear life. And what a horrible way to finish off what is already a very challenging competition. So we're looking at a very challenging competition across the board. Really, I, for the first time, am taking part as part of the Masters class. I'm waving goodbye to the under 80 kilogram class just for a bit. Don't really know what to expect personally going in. Some of the weights for the events, the majority of the weights for the events are slightly heavier than I would be doing if I was in the under 80 kilogram class. As you can see, I'm really taking advantage of the fact that there is no weight limit in the Masters. I'm currently sitting at a portly 86 kilograms or so, and you know that's lighter than some of the guys competing in the under 80s regularly. That's lighter than some of them walk around on a day-to-day basis. So it will be a kind of David versus Goliath. Goliath is? I don't know what the plural of Goliath is, but it's going to be that. So yeah, we shall see. I know a lot of the athletes that compete will be watching this. Let me know below how your training has gone, what events you're not looking forward to. I mean, scroll down to the comments and take a sip every time you see the sandbag steeplechase mentioned. I don't think anyone has really enjoyed training that particular event, and if they have, they're definitely keeping it quiet. So there are probably going to be some absolute savages on the day. I can't wait to see it. Because of the sheer number of athletes that are going to be competing to become the first ever UKNS England's strongest man or women. The competition has been split into 2 separate days. So the men are going to be competing on Sunday, the 28th of January, and the women will be competing on Sunday, the 4th of February. Now, one of the amazing things to come out of 2023 is the prevalence of the live stream. We have had so many competitions live streamed with phenomenal production, and that looks like a trend that is going to be carried on throughout 2024. So if you can't be at the competition, you can watch the competition. Both men's and women's competitions will be live streamed and will be live streamed with commentary. And for the other national titles, I believe they are being live streamed on the Natural Strongman YouTube channel. Subscribe to both, watch both live streams, and just enjoy what's going to happen. I remember not so long ago, a live stream for one of these competitions for OSG, I think it was 2018 or 19, was a webcam way back in the bleachers. You couldn't make anyone out. There was no commentary. It was just one static shot. So, you know, things have come on leaps and bounds, and as the popularity of the sport increases, as it looks like it will do over the course of this year, it's just going to get easier and more accessible, and yeah, be part of it. There won't be any predictions in this video because, frankly, there are just so many athletes and so many names I don't recognise. It would be foolish of me. There are names that I recognise that I would expect to do well. I myself competing in the Masters, it's my first time. I don't really know any of the other guys that I'm going to be competing against, with the exception of Hugh Hartnett, who is my other under 80 kilogram brother. We've competed against each other quite a few times. Other than that, who knows? It's going to be a case of turn up, perform as best I can, and see what happens on the day. There are going to be some absolute standouts. It is definitely going to be worth your while watching the live streams. And if you enjoy what you see, get involved in the sport. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to the UKNS, you can reach out to Natural Strongman. You know, there are so many avenues to get into this sport. I am coming into my 5th year competing, and despite some of the results on competition days, I have loved every single minute of it, and I would highly recommend getting involved in this crazy sport. So that's going to do it for this fairly brief look at the upcoming UKNS England's Strongest Man and Woman. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff. I'll be back soon after the competition with some sort of recap. If I survive, I hope I survive. I hope I finish that sandbag steeplechase. That's just grim. It's just grim. It's grim, and they took away because there are so many athletes. We need to, or that's we. The promoters are trying to make sure the day runs as smoothly as possible. So traditionally, the sandbag steeplechase has had 2 loading elements. So you load over a yoke and then you load onto a platform. That was the plan. But because of the amount of athletes, the promoters are trying to have 4 athletes go at a time. That's 8 yokes you'd need, which is difficult to get hold of. So I fully understand why they removed the second load. And even with the removal of that second load, it's still absolutely disgusting. It's... if I finish it, I'll do a backflip. I'll record it, and I'll edit it into the recap or whatever. Anyway, I am Danny from Made of Metal, and I'll be back soon with some other video. See you soon.